You doing okay this morning, Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleepy, but I'm here.
Yes. Okay, go ahead and lie down on your back. So you have two options here for your legs. You can do like what we did Tuesday with the Baddha Konasana legs where the feet are together and hanging open, or you can separate the feet to the edges of the mat and let the knees hang towards each other. You decide what your body needs. Actually, let your body decide what your body needs. Sometimes that's very different from what we want our bodies to need or do. And here's what we're going to focus on today as you lie there and begin to breathe. Whatever you do today on the mat or off the mat is enough. Whatever you do today is enough. So if you are able to, at any point throughout the day, notice the breath, fill the lungs and empty the lungs, I would say that's a win. We're just going to continue to breathe for a few moments. Take everything, distractions, outside world, things to do, work to be done. We're just going to let that stay on the other side of the door that we are in. And we're going to take this next hour for ourselves. May you know simplicity. May you know the beauty of simplicity, and may you find it in your life. If you just peeled away all of the extra stuff, all of the shoulds and the have tos and everything that causes you stress, what gift would you be holding? Know the people and places and thoughts and ideas and dreams that are meant to be here in the simple and uncomplicated place. They are your truth, and they will bring you joy. Lighten your load today and keep it simple. That's what I want you to keep in the front of your mind today. And as you kind of ponder that, think about that, what kind of feeling does it bring to your body? Hopefully a positive feeling. And if you can hold on to that while you breathe. You can even separate the lips as you exhale. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then wherever your hands are, if your knees are open, bring your hands down to your knees, your legs, the outer legs, and bring your knees back together. We're going to have the feet about hip width apart. So if your knees were hanging together, bring them up towards the ceiling. Have your hands on the ground and just drop the knees back and forth. Nice and slow and gentle. Just creating some heat in the pelvis. Waking up the spine. And then slow it down, come back to where we started. Straighten the legs. Bring your right foot to the right corner of the mat, and then your left foot on top of the right foot. Arms overhead. You're gonna grab the left wrist and lean to the right. So you're just coming into a supine crescent stretch here. Feel the sensation of opening the whole left side of the body. And on your next exhale, go ahead and uncross the feet. Keep your arms up. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Left foot, left corner. Bring the right foot on top of the left foot. Grab the right wrist with your left hand and lean to the left. Breathe and expand the right side of the body. Next exhale, go ahead and release. Bring the arms down. Bend the knees. You're gonna bring the knees up to the chest. First, get a flat lower back. So we always want a flat back. It's going to happen when your knees come up anyways, but just so we're not straining the back whatsoever. Rock left to right. I feel like this is a good way to wake up the body. I'm very tired this morning too. I didn't sleep very good last night. So my brain is a little bit foggy this morning, and I feel like going into these postures, my brain is like, oh, okay, I really like this. Okay, go ahead and bring the feet down. Shift your pelvis to the left and drop the knees to the right. Coming into a twist here. So take goddess arms. If you have the length, if the pectoral muscles are not too tight, otherwise you can have the arms extended like a T. Try to keep the left shoulder heavy to the floor. It doesn't matter where you're looking, but if you want to look to the left, you can. This gentle class is really about not doing too much extra, but all very, very beneficial, just the same. Take one more deep breath here. And as you exhale, bring the knees up, center the pelvis first, and then bring your hips to the right side of the mat. Drop your knees in the opposite direction. And find your breath here. One more deep breath. And then exhale, knees back up. pelvis back to center. You can hug the knees one more time just to neutralize the pelvis, and then we'll roll onto our right side. Go ahead and sit up to a seated position. Have the hands on the thighs. They're going to move around a little bit, but we're going to start with some Sufi circles. So basically, it looks like small circles in the lower spine, and then making the circles bigger. So waking up the spine similar to our cat pose or Betalasana. And then go in the other direction. Start big. Really press the body back, forward. Make the circles nice and big. And then you're going to slow it down and start to make the circles smaller until you're back to where we started. Really waking up that root chakra, finding that groundedness. Bring your right hand to the mat. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, lean to the right. And then we're going to bring the hand down to the mat and stay here for a breath. Walk the hands to center. Walk forward. It's really doesn't matter how far you go. Just keep the shoulders back. Find a lower back stretch. You might feel this in your outer legs too, or somewhere in the hips. You'll feel it wherever the body needs. Walk the hands towards the body. Sit back up. Left hand to the mat. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, lean to the left. Bring the right hand down. What we're really trying to do is just slow down the senses from everything that's happening around us and turn our focus inward. So just notice where you're feeling anything. And if your mind leaves the mat, remember you can come back to the breath. Just follow the inhale and the exhale. Go ahead and walk the hands forward to the center. Inhale, lengthen. Reach further. And take a few breaths here. And then lift up, walk the hands towards the body. If you have your strap, go ahead and grab it. Strap, belt, doesn't matter what it is. We're going to use this for our arms. And so we're going to move the legs into Gomukhasana, which is cow face pose, and we're going to add the arms. But if your legs don't do this, don't fret. Remember, whatever you do today is okay. So if you can, start with the right knee pointing forward, knee is bent. And then the left knee is going to line up on top of the right. So another option for this, if your knees don't do that, is to just come into this figure four where the knee is bent. You're still feeling a stretch in the hips, okay? What we don't want is this knee kind of, hanging out in space. So try to get the knees as stacked as possible, or take the other modification. Or if you even have a block, if your knee doesn't go all the way, you can put a block under there. Take your strap. The way that we line this up is pretty important. So try to get your arm as straight as possible. Rotate the pinky towards the midline of the body. So the pinky rotates in. And then we keep the upper arm where it is and just bend the forearm back. Palm is going to be touching the middle of our back, fingers pointing straight down. Left arm comes forward, thumb down. And you're going to continue to internally rotate this arm so you can reach back, palm facing out, fingertips pointing up. There's a good chance you can grab your fingers. If you can, grab your fingers and forget about the strap. But also keep the integrity of lifting the chest, spreading the collarbones. Just have a soft gaze. Let the tongue hang in the lower jaw. We're going to take 3 good breaths here. If you're not touching fingers, just pull on that strap. And then next exhale, go ahead and release the left hand first, and then the right, and then the legs. Straighten the legs out, kind of bounce them around a little bit. You can even take the kneecaps and move the kneecaps around. This is very healthy for the kneecaps. And then we'll do the other side. I can see your feet, Amanda, waving at me in the camera. Okay, left leg down. Stack the knees, right leg goes on top. You might even notice that one side is different than the other. I certainly do. Strap with the left hand, arms straight up. Shoulder blades are just nice and flat, sliding down the back. The inner edges of the shoulder blades have to help you with this. Rotate the pinky towards the head. Bend the elbow. Right hand comes out, thumb down. And we're taking this stuff slowly and mindfully. Even if we know what we're doing, just go slow. Grab the strap or the fingers and breathe. Try to keep the chin up, the collarbones lifting and spreading. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. We're taking one more breath here. And then release the right hand first. Bring the left arm down. Unpretzel your legs. Straighten. Good. And we're going to come up onto our knees here. So go ahead and slide the legs back. Toe torture pose. There's a reason they call it that. But really, we're just sitting on our toes. If this is painful for you, uncurl the toes, but at least give it a breath or two. Even if you're here and you're like, this hurts so bad, just give it a couple of breaths and try to soften. Good. And if you are up here and you make it up here eventually, try to really spread all the toes down to the pinkies, pressing into the mat. We're going to do a couple of neck stretches here, and at any time, just uncurl the toes. You're going to take your right hand to your left ear, bring the right ear down towards the shoulder, keep the chin lifted, and lengthen through the left fingertips. It's a neck stretch here to distract you from your toes. Release, other side. Use the left hand to guide the left ear to the left shoulder, and then reach out through the right fingertips. And go ahead and release. Uncurl the toes. Smack the tops of the feet onto the mat. All right. And then here we go, Beetalasana. Extra, extra, extra gentle stuff today. Lift the tailbone, lift the chin. Exhale, arch the back. Move around your body parts, hips, shoulders, neck. Just stay with the breath. Do 3 more rounds here. I love this pose because it really makes me feel like, I mean, our body is our home, right? We are not always present in our body. This really, really gets you there. You can feel everything. Okay. Bring your left hand forward just a little bit because we're gonna use it for some support. Take the top of the right hand, press it into the mat. Fingertips are facing towards you. And if you're not feeling too much of a stretch here already, you can always shift the weight back. Shift your weight back and that should do it for you. Try not to dump in the shoulders here. We're keeping everything lifted. Still takes strength to do that. And then release. Do some circles with that wrist, shake it around. And other side. Right hand nice and far in front of the shoulder. Top of the left hand goes on the mat. Lean back as far as you need to. Shoulders back. Don't have a big dip in the lower spine either. Keep that protected. So navel towards the spine. And then go ahead and release, shake it out. And here we go with our first down dog. So go ahead and curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Make sure your hands are nice and set up. Push the floor away from you. Get your ears to the inner arms and pedal your feet out. Don't worry about lengthening the spine at first. Just work on the legs. And then focus on the spine, lengthening through the tailbone, getting the heels heavy towards the mat, maybe going up on the toes, shifting back and forth. We're going to come forward here. So take another breath. And then your next inhale, look up and begin to walk forward. Keep the feet nice and separated, at least hip width apart here. And then fold. So I don't know about you, but I need to keep my knees bent for sure. You can grab opposite elbows and hang forward, or use support from a block, or keep your fingertips down. You don't have to hang. Whatever you decide, let the head hang 100%. Release every muscle in the cervical spine. Move it around to make sure you're not using it like your head is hanging from a thread. Feel the tension kind of pouring out the body this way. You know, if you are one of those people that keep tension in the neck, shoulders, right here. All right, we're gonna stand up, nice and slow. Inhale, look up, hands to your shins. Take a breath here and just keep getting long through the top of the head. Now, remember, you have to protect your hamstring attachments here. So it feels like you're lifting your sitting bones, and you should feel some engagement around the sits bones. You should feel the glutes engage a little bit. Takes more work, but you want to protect the hamstring attachments. Go ahead and bring your hands to your thighs, shoulders back. And then bend the knees. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Bring the hands down. Let's just come into our Tadasana for a moment. Now, Tadasana, by all means, is not a simple pose. It's very difficult. But let's just be still in that sense of keeping it simple. Turn inward. Start from the feet and work your way up with your foundation, your alignment, and the weight in your body. Have the eyes closed if you want more of a challenge for balancing, or to turn off that sense to help you focus inward. Be sure the inner edges of the femur heads are pressing back, so you have nice soft skin for your hip creases. You might feel the weight shifting around in your feet. Maybe the body wavering a little bit, back, forth, front, back, side, side. We're going to stay here for another breath or two. And then blink the eyes open. And we'll move with the breath through some sun salutations. We're going to do 2. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chaturanga. Remember, you can use your knees in this class. I mean, you can use them in any class, but especially for the gentle. Lower yourself, elbows still touch the sides of the body. Inhale, lift for a cobra. Engage all the muscles in the legs. And then we're going to child's pose here, not down dog. Big toes together, knees apart. Reach the hands forward. Forehead to mat for 5 breaths. 1, 2, deep, deep breaths here. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up. Come to your knees. Exhale into a downward facing dog. And then you'll look up once again, step forward. Fold, let the head hang. Inhale your arms all the way up. And exhale to Tadasana. Once again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Drop the head completely. Inhale, look up, nice flat back. Exhale, step back, chaturanga, lower all the way to the ground. Inhale up to cobra. And then exhale, take it back. If you want to do down dog, you can, but child's pose would be the first option. So sit back on your heels, knees apart. 5 breaths here. 1, and if you want to grab the bottoms of your feet and just be in a ball here, you can. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head up, bring yourself to hands and knees, and then exhale into a downward facing dog. Inhale, look up to step forward. Exhale, fold, drop the head. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Back to Tadasana. Grab your block. Okay, so have the block in your hand. We're going to take our legs into a wide stance. And we're going to do our triangle pose, Trikonasana. So from the hip socket, right toes come out. Back toes come in just a little bit. Bring the block to the outside of the right foot. And we do that on the outside instead of the inside to help open the chest more. Deepen the right hip crease. Keep the legs, lengthen the upper torso by reaching, and then bring that hand down to the block. Lastly, open up the shoulders. Left hand can go up, or you can keep it down. Honestly, the hand is really not that relevant. Find your breath here. Do use the upper thighs though. Be sure the knees are lifting. The belly is engaged. Top ribs are nice and soft. You're lengthening out through the crown of the head. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. Deep breaths. If you feel like you can bring the block a little bit lower, go ahead. Keep the integrity of the pose. Now begin to bend the right knee and place your right forearm. Take it from the block, put the forearm on top of the thigh. And then your left arm is going to come up and over to the ear. And if you can here, my pelvis is a little bit high. See if you can soften the pelvis and really get into that side angle for our side angle pose. Yeah. If the knee starts to go over the ankle, just bring the toes forward. Keep the neck long. Keep pressing out of the shoulder. Bring this left arm down. Press the front foot. Bring yourself back up to a standing position. Take your block with you. Right toes in, left toes out for the other side. Block goes on the outside of the foot. It depends on your anatomy, honestly. It could go on the outside of the calf muscle, shin area too. Deepen the left groin. Lengthen the left arm. Well, you can't lengthen your arm. Reach with it though. Good. And then bring the hand down to the block. Just take a look at your back toes real quick. Make sure that they're pointing in just a little bit. And then stack the shoulders. So we're opening the chest and maybe adding the arm. It can stay down here though. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. If you feel like you can lower the block a little bit without taking away from the nice straight spine, then you can do that. Otherwise, just stay where you are. And now go ahead and bend the left knee. Take your left hand, forearm comes onto the thigh. Right arm up and over. Pinky is towards the floor. And maybe we drop the pelvis a little bit. Really press that back foot. Both legs are working here. We're staying here for 3 breaths. Push the forearm, get out of your shoulder. And then bring the right arm down and press the front foot to bring yourself back. Walk the feet together. Shake the legs out a little bit. Ooh. It's so interesting how like the setup and the energy can change the way that those postures feel, When we're doing other classes, that might be like a small part of the work that we do, but when it becomes like the main pose of a gentle class, you're like, wow, that was really tough on the legs. Okay, let's go ahead and just face the back of our mat. We're gonna bring the right leg forward and the left leg back. The legs are gonna stay straight here. I want you to put the block so it can fit both hands on the inside of the right foot, ankle area. Be sure that your feet are on railroad tracks, not on a tightrope. So the hips have room to face forward. And then we're gonna grab the elbows behind the back to start, just to get a nice open chest. So press both feet into the mat. You're already squeezing your thighs towards each other to help you lift up as you inhale. And then exhale, start to hinge forward. Release the elbows, take your hands to the block. Even if you can go further, just stay here for a few breaths. Lengthen through the crown of the head. You're probably feeling a straight, what is that word? Stretch in the right leg. If you're not, and you can keep the legs straight, you can go further down to the floor. Keep the belly engaged. Keep the neck neutral. And it's like both knees are rotating out and the feet are pressing. Take one more breath here. And then you're going to bend the front knee and really press the feet in and away from each other so you can pop up. Bring your block with you. Bring the right toes in, left toes out. So now you're facing the front of your mat. Adjust your feet as needed. Bring the block to the floor. Grab the elbows behind the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, start to hinge forward. Rotate the thighs out, press the feet. This is going to help you find space for the hips so you can come forward. Hands are on the block. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Maybe you can fold forward a little bit more, or maybe you just stay here and breathe. One more breath. Bend the front knee. You're going to take your block with you. Press up. Come to Tadasana. Oh, take a breath. You can throw your block to the side for now. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Either grab the heels or palms together and let the palms hang behind the back or behind the head. My words aren't working the same this morning, I'm sorry. We're just taking 3 breaths here. And then bring the hands down if they were behind the head. Inhale, look up. You're gonna lift yourself to hands and knees, cross at the ankles, and have a seat. So first, legs out in front of you. If this hurts your lower back, put something underneath your butt, the back of your mat, a blanket. We're gonna have the fingertips on the outside of the hips, elbows pointing back. We're gonna take a few breaths here in Dandasana. And now we're gonna exhale and fold forward. So here's the cool thing. You can bend your knees here if you want to grab the bottoms of your feet, but your hamstrings aren't letting you. And then from here, get nice and tall in the spine, and then maybe you straighten the legs. Otherwise, you can stay back here or use a strap. 3 more breaths in our Paschimottanasana, stretching the west side of the body. That's our back. Inhale to look up, and exhale, come back to sitting. Bend the right knee, bring it out to the side. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, fold. So now one leg at a time. You could still use a strap. Really focus on the back and the shoulders, the lower edges of the inner shoulder blades, pressing into the back. Inhale to look up, and exhale, release. Bring the right knee up, straighten it. Same thing on the other side, close the knee joint first, drop it out to the side. Inhale, get tall, and you're moving your body towards this leg. Concave the belly. Exhale, fold forward. Find your breath. This leg should be active, the right leg. Press the leg into the mat. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release. Bend this right knee so we can bring the bottoms of the feet together. And here we're gonna just round the spine. Grab your ankles for stability for the ankles so we're not pulling on the rest of the foot. Inhale, get tall. And then exhale, push the spine towards the back, shoulders forward, drop the head. And maybe press the thighs open even more with the elbows. That part doesn't matter as much. Just get a nice stretch from the sacrum to the head. Inhale and come all the way up, nice and slow. Exhale, bring the knees together. Lie down on your back, bring your block with you. So just lie here for a moment. After that forward fold we just did, your spine will just want to kind of release. We're going to take our block, press our feet, lift the pelvis, and put the block on its flattest side under the sacrum, which is above the tailbone, below the lowest vertebra of the back. It just shouldn't hurt. We'll just pay attention to that. And we're just gonna sit here in a supported bridge, okay? We're gonna try all 3 levels. Just keep your feet nice and parallel in your mind's eye. See that the toes are pointing straight, the knees are not hanging open. Everything is lined up with the hip joints. And then your palms can just be facing up, shoulder blades flat on the mat. We're gonna breathe here. And then on your next exhale, you're going to attempt going to the next level of the block. So you'll press the feet, lift the pelvis, bring the block up to the medium setting, turn it so it is reading your spine. So it is supporting the lower spine, and then you'll lower back down. So the block should be supporting your sacrum and your lower back now, and stay here. We don't want to do too many back bends these next few days. I mean, we're really already vulnerable, opening the heart. We're just doing this back bend. Everything we've been doing is pretty much forward folds for the nervous system to just stay in balance. But we need to have a well-rounded practice as well. Just breathe here. And then one more breath. Inhale and lift the pelvis. We're going to attempt the tallest setting. You might not make it, and that's fine. Just go back to the medium. But press the feet and try. Just see where you are. It shouldn't pinch. Be sure it's low enough on the sacrum where it doesn't pinch. So you're either at medium setting or tall, and breathe. And one more breath. Press the feet, lift, and bring the block back down to the flattest setting, and stay here for just a moment. Back to the sacrum. We're going to bring the left leg up, and then the right leg up. So try to get the legs to be not too far forward, not too easy far back, right in the middle. You'll have a little bit of abdominal engagement here. Try to press the inner edges of the feet, inner arches of the feet up towards the ceiling. So feet are flexed here. They're together like you have one big leg. And you've already done this pose today. This is Dandasana, right? We were sitting down and doing this. Now we're just on our backs. You also did it standing on your feet. Go ahead and bring the left leg down, slowly and mindfully. Feel the body. Right leg down. Lift the pelvis, remove the block, and lower all the way down to the floor. Take a breath here. Get the lower back nice and flat. Bring the knees up to the chest, one at a time. Rock left to right. We're going to move right into one more twist here. So keep the knees up as high up to the chest as you can go and drop them off the right side of the mat. If you want to press the top leg, if you want to extend the top leg, decide what you want to do with your legs, and then left arm can be goddess or straight. Next exhale, we're going to engage the abdominals once again. Bring the knees up to the chest. Maybe rock left to right one time and then drop the knees to the left. Decide what you want to do with your legs and your arms and breathe. Soften the muscles in the face, especially the tongue, the jaw, the throat. Release any gripping in the belly. Let the organs get a nice wring out here. Nice massage. Take any last movement. Knees back to center. Drop the feet. Stretch the legs, arms overhead. And time for Shavasana. I'm just going to let you lie here silently today. There's enough noise going on around us. I'm going to let you just sit with your body. Remember, we're just observing. Don't attach any emotions to it. Just breathe. Allow your inhalations to begin to deepen. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes slowly. Amanda, I don't know if you have to skedaddle, but this is just a reminder. Okay. And after another breath or two, maybe you start bending the knees and take any movement that the body is craving, swinging the hips, rolling the head, taking a stretch, or hugging the knees. And then once you find stillness, roll on to your right side. Use your arm as a pillow. Leave behind anything that has been weighing you down, that you don't need to carry anymore. And then just take this with you, that whatever you do today is enough. Let the head stay heavy as you press yourself up to any seated position that's comfortable for you. Thank you for being here with me this morning, and thank you for letting me guide you. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in you. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a great day.